Brad Blanks. I've got Chris Pratt here. How are you, mate?
Hey, good. How you doing?
First, I've got to apologise. I did have hummus and some chicken for lunch. So
Is that what that is?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was hungry earlier. No, not so much more.
We're so close. I can smell his beautiful hotel Ritz-Carlton conditioner in his hair. It's very good. Well done.
You like that?
Hey, really good shampoo.
Oh, thank you. What do you got? Oh, yeah.
I unfortunately haven't shampooed for the last week.
Yeah, okay. I got that. I would put it a few weeks. Maybe you've just been working out a lot.
Beaming a signal around the globe. Direct from New York City. It's Brad Blanks.
I feel bad for you because it's happened to me a lot in my job interviews or auditions of life, being told that I was too fat for a role.
Yeah.
Is that what Brad Pitt and Bennett Miller said to you for Moneyball?
No. It was third-party information. It was, you can never really trust your agents when you say, hey, how did it go? They always say, oh, it went great, but you're just not the right guy. They were like, it went good, but you're too fat. I was like, oh, and so I kind of trusted that must have been the feedback, and I there's a ton of fat baseball players, but because this is based on a real guy, they wanted to make the physical likeness right, and so I just had to lose weight.
It wasn't your agent like maybe trying to get you another role and saying, shit, I'd love to get him down to about 210 and just slip him into that role where he just takes his shirt off and his abs are all was it that maybe?
Maybe. I'm not cynical enough to think like that. It
Sorry, mate.
totally was. I probably had the role from the get-go. I didn't have to lose all that weight.
You've been in Hollywood since 2003 and you've got an overweight Australian trying to give you the inside information on it all.
We're going to shake things up. Why don't you walk me through the board?
I believe there's a championship team that we can afford because everyone else undervalues them, like an island of misfit toys.
We want you at first base.
I've only ever played catcher.
It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
He can't throw. But what can he do?
You want me to speak?
We're not pointing you yet.
He gets on base.
In the audition process, you are going up against Brad Pitt. You and him are sitting in a room going through the motions. I mean, how do you explain that to younger actors when you're going up against Pitt and you got to hold your own in a way?
Yeah, you have to hold your own. And the key to holding your own in a situation like that is to not let it affect you and just really focus. If in terms of if you're an actor, like you just have to focus on the character and do your job, because you know what? That's all he wants. He wants to go there and do his job. He doesn't want you to treat him like Brad Pitt. He wants you to treat him like Billy Bean, the character that he's playing. So if you can get over the fact that you're sitting across from this huge superstar and instead just focus on what your character is going through, that's how you're gonna win a role like that. It's a funny story. When we sat down, we were trying to reenact the scene where we were at my house. We were in Bennett Miller's office. He's the director at Sony. We were at his office, and he's like, okay, why don't you just sit into this? And we did the scene. He goes, and he's sitting back with his feet up on his desk, and he's like, something. It just really, it doesn't feel like we're at your house. It feels like I need you to kind of hold your own here, and I need you to make this feel like it's your house that we're visiting rather than the other way around. And I looked at him, I was like, all right, well, you can start by taking feet off my desk.
You said that to him?
Yeah. And he did. And then it was my office then.
Good man. Well done. So you did hold your own.
I did, yeah. You have to.
And I've also read that Bennett Miller, the director, did get in your face a bit and call you a pussy at certain stages.
Yeah, he did. And it's hard. I haven't really actually had this discussion with him, but I've kind of just made the assumption in my mind, because after seeing the movie, there's a part where I'm like running to first base and they're trying to build up my confidence in that moment, which means especially in that physical moment, I needed to not be confident. And because of all the training they gave me, I was actually confident in like fielding and all that stuff. And so he came up to me and he's like, and I was really tired. They were running me for like an hour, mags and mags of film on me sweating. And he's like, hey man, why you being such a fucking pussy? And I was out of shape. I was out of breath. And you don't walk up to a dude and say that to him. You know what I mean? I was so pissed, and I didn't respond to him verbally, but in my mind, I was so mad. I was like, don't call me a pussy, dude. I was so pissed. And so you watch that frame in a movie when I'm sweating and running back and forth and
I watched it,
spitting. You can see me going like, call me a pussy.
I read the story before and I watched the movie. I went, oh, geez, he's got in there. Yeah.
He got me there, though. That's the kind of thing, like that's the sort of emotional manipulation that a really thoughtful, artful director may have to do.
If people had followed Robert De Niro's career and just saw this interview, they would think you are De Niro-esque. You've controlled your weight, you were fat, you got skinny,
Yeah.
and you've done a Raging Bull-like moment with the director of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, yeah, you're on fire, mate.
Boom. And just another reason I'm exactly like Robert De Niro. The list grows on and on.